This video contains limited show and will be only best for listening.
With the new update arriving, we have some changes going into next season of Alliance Conquest that should spice things up. Today we will be covering this part of the update, what we may see change in the top ladders of the game, and the overall strategies that may come into play. And more importantly, how it will affect the vast range of majority alliances in the mid-leagues. So let's begin. Firstly, we should discuss the building change. The mines, the most important two buildings in every match, is enough to bring a losing team back to being tightly competitive, or straight secure the win over a more powerful alliance like we saw with HOH facing against WIC. These have been changes from per player points per minute from 70 now to 40, and a max of 14,000 points now down to 9,000 total. To continue this nerf, the total reinforce for all buildings has been changed from 30 now down to 25. As a whole, unless if their main target is solo attacked massively and the opponent's reaction to this is slow. In terms of changes, this reinforce won't have a largely significant impact on most defense, as usually armies are quick to replace each other. A max of 1,000 points can be gathered per minute from the mines now. In addition, the opening time for these buildings is changed from 45 minutes into the battle, now to 40 minutes. It will be interesting to see if this will shake up the gameplay, but all defense will be a little more difficult and mines will just take slightly longer. The main case of opening mines sooner is for after they have both been cleared. There would be nearly 8 to 10 more minutes of time left in the battle to contest buildings, and as we will discuss, the new combination buffs could heavily impact these tight games. As a whole, majority of alliances will not see too much change with the new mines, and that goes the same for Ultimate Conquest. Simply, the mines will take a little longer than before, and assuming they're contested, perhaps an extra rally wave is possible with that time. Next, let's go over the building combinations. There are a few to go through, and there is nothing which says these same type buffs cannot stack on top each other, so we will assume so. Firstly, Gift of the Seven Gods, when both the Mother and Warrior Tower are occupied, grants 20% healing speed and 10 total base attack, meaning all troop type base attack. Next, protects Blessing when the Mother Tower and any outpost is taken, plus 50% to healing speed. Gift of Courage, when the Warrior Tower and any outpost is taken, boost total base attack by 15. Dragon Will and Iron Will, for either the Targaryen Port and Stronghold, or the Lannister Port and Stronghold, will increase his army size by 200,000 troops. Golden Bloodline, when holding the Lannister Port, Targaryen Port and Castle Rock, increases total base health by 5. Fire and Blood, and Hear Me Roar, when occupying the Targaryen or Lannister's Port, Outpost and Stronghold, additional plus 120 points per minute. One thing immediately sticks out, and that in the initial phase of open buildings, both outposts and towers are open, and if a team was to occupy both towers and at least one outpost, they will have a 25 total base attack boost, which may be way too strong. Consider this: Tier 4 infantry have a base of 100, and spearmen up to 115. At Tier 5, this increases to 134, ND 139 total. Boosts to base attack are way more significant, as these are applied before your statistics. To keep it simple, we will use Tier 4 infantry. This is already a 25% boost to their overall power. This situation is probably the only issue, at least in competitive play and UC matches, where the initial building captures will be too important now, forgetting the boost to healing speed. Alone, the attacking power and defensive power of some players will be too extreme with these buffs. Already there are some players that are too difficult to knock out of buildings unless heavily spammed. It will be great buffs for underdog matches to even the playing field. But if the more powered alliance get these two combinations immediately, there may be no contest in the game. Maybe that take was a little extreme. In all fairness, this will make all other non-UC matches awesome, and with the reduced reinforce limit and new stratagem skills we will go through, it will make these games more exciting. Next, seeing the army attack buffs with the port and stronghold combination. This will compensate for the reduced reinforce cap for most alliances. Up to 10 million extra troops can be sent if holding both sides, which is usually around 10 players worth. The 2 ports and Castle Rock boost to base health is naturally going to be obtained when initial battle for points is raging. When gaining control of all three generates the Alliance 700 points per minute, so the boost to 5 total base health is a simple bonus for holding all three buildings. Fire and Blood, along with Iron Fist, are probably the most interesting. Increases your points per minute by 120, while holding all of Lannister's or Targaryen's port, outpost, and stronghold. At the very least, these could become important in the late game where point difference is tight after the mines. The extra points can win the match for some alliances, however, usually in UC matches, the stronghold is typically ignored, as they only provide 40 points per minute and the army marches to enemy buildings is usually not powerful enough. Regardless, now with the three main buildings, you could say strongholds go from 40 points per minute to 160, which may be enough to increase its value, though all three Lannister or Targaryen buildings need to be defended. All these were the most important to talk about, we feel. Now on to the new additions. Next, let's discussing the 3 new stratagems that have been added. Keep in mind the same 3 limit is still in place for selection. Firstly, Dragons, Might a Shield effect, used once per battle, will grant a building you choose a bubble, meaning no attacks can hit that building for 1 minute, can be used up to once per round. Next, we have Dragon's Fury, which will make so the targeted building cannot recall any of its troops, which will last for 3 minutes up to a max of 1 time per round. And lastly, we Dragon's Roar, which will force retreat 5 random armies from the targeted building, which can be used up to 2 times per round. It will be tough to say what combinations some teams will craft. After all, the counter skills are still extremely powerful, and priceless mobility can make the difference in capturing both mines or not. All in all, these new skills are clearly very strong, and more than likely the most used skill is the Dragon's Roar, which dismisses 5 random armies. However, new stratagem skill Dragons Might may be a new most popular in the UC season. Effective blocking of enemy rally waves on a single building. Although teams will have to be careful of fake rally waves as to not waste this ability. These changes will be exciting to see used fully, and with new UC season coming, we may see some more unique combinations or strategies used in the battle. Although don't be surprised if changes to building combination values will come, as although we're yet to see its impact. Some may just be too strong. Thanks for watching.